From the Athens Tech Studios, this is the Athens News Podcast. Local news you can use about Athens and Clark County, all in 7 minutes. And now, here are your top stories.
Hello and welcome to the Athens News Podcast. I'm Melissa Carter. A quick-thinking UGA student thwarts a robber on campus, plus a clear-cut winner in student elections at UGA. But first, here are your top stories brought to you by Drake Realty. A high-ranking member of a reported national criminal organization has been sentenced to life in prison for his involvement in the murder of 3 Athens residents. Leslie Chappelle Green, also known as Grip of Stone Mountain, was convicted under the Georgia Racketeer Influenced and Corruption Organization Act. Green, alongside co-defendants Dalla Phil and Drea, were part of the Gangster Disciples enforcement team. Their mission? To enforce discipline through violence and murder within the organization. These killings were in relation for the death of Gangster Disciples member Walter Brown. Chief U.S. District Judge Mark Treadwell sentenced Green to life without parole. 2 other co-defendants are set for sentencing in March. This from Fox 5. In a highly anticipated verdict, the former owner of 2 popular bars in downtown Athens has been acquitted of rape and kidnapping charges. David Ippish, a former owner of Hedges on Broad and 100 Proof, was cleared of the allegations made by a 21-year-old woman. The trial, which lasted 6 days, saw intense scrutiny of the events surrounding the alleged assault on the concert stage at Hedges on Broad. Despite the acquittal, Ippish's businesses suffered significantly, leading to their closure after his arrest. The trial also shed light on the role of social media in legal proceedings, with evidence from postings providing crucial context to the events of the evening. This from the Athens Banner-Herald. Authorities in Athens have apprehended a man from North Carolina for fraudulent activity involving stolen personal information. According to the Athens Clark Police report, the suspect utilized stolen information to purchase power tools from multiple Lowe's stores across Georgia. Police received a tip that the suspect was at a Lowe's store on Lexington Road in Athens. The suspect had recently stolen items in his possession, along with tools pilfered from locations in Oconee County, Loganville, Cornelia, and Lithonia. The 28-year-old suspect from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, was found to have a fraudulent Lowe's account number belonging to a Savannah businessman, as well as a counterfeit ID bearing the victim's name and the suspect's photo. In addition to the stolen goods, police recovered a firearm from the suspect's vehicle. This from the Athens Banner-Herald.
It pays to know your doctor. It pays to know your lawyer. And now more than ever, it pays to know your local real estate professional. Hi, I'm Jeffrey Drake with Drake Realty, and we have 7 offices in the metro Atlanta area, including 2 right here in Cobb County and 1 at Lake Oconee. I'm the proud leader of over 700 agents here in Georgia, and we pride ourselves in professional service, whether you are the buyer or the seller. Drake Realty makes the home buying process seamless from contract to close. Our agents are a little different. They're not pushing for the quick sale and close. They are pushing for the best price and terms for their client. In other words, Drake Realty fights for you. Now's the time to buy that dream home, vacation home, or new home your family deserves. A lot of real estate agents talk big. Let my team at Drake Realty prove they will fight for you. I'm Jeffrey Drake, and I'd be honored to have my team serve you. Visit us online at drakerealty.com. And remember, it's not how quick you sell or buy, it's what the deal provides for your future.
Achieve more with Athens Tech. At Athens Technical College, their programs can connect you with in-demand and high-paying careers.
I graduated from Athens Tech in May and started my job 2 weeks later. I had the job before I left, thanks to my professor, and just focusing on growing a career.
As far as Athens Tech, I think I've been a member of the advisory panel for 10 years now, and it's been an awesome experience.
I'm currently going to Athens Tech. I started out as an accounting major. I've finished all my accounting classes and then switched over to the culinary and baking program.
My name is Alex Lang. I'm an electromechanical engineering student. This is my second year at Athens Tech, and I graduate in December. The long-term goal is to work for the railroad, whether that be Norfolk Southern or CSX.
Achieve more with Athens Tech. Find out more at athenstech.edu.
From the Athens Clark County News Facebook page, a quick-thinking UGA student thwarted an armed robber by staying calm and using her ingenuity, leading to a swift arrest by authorities. The 19-year-old student from Sewanee walked on South Lumpkin Street near the Hill Hall pedestrian crosswalk. The robber, wearing a purple bandana to conceal his face, brandished a handgun and demanded her phone. The student told the robber she could get him a phone from a friend. Then, speaking in Korean to ensure the assailant couldn't understand, she called her friend in Hill Hall, describing the situation and the suspect's appearance. The friend promptly informed the resident assistant about the unfolding crisis, who then immediately notified UGA police. 17-year-old Jeremiah Scott of Rock Springs Court faces multiple charges, including armed robbery, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm by a minor. Auntie Lib said right and wrong are learned. Parents have the responsibility of teaching their children the difference between right and wrong. This is not a function of the free education system, which is $15,000 per student a year in Clark County. Jeremiah's parents have failed both him and our society. It is parents, or the lack thereof. Mackenzie Wynn says, I grew up in Athens. It breaks my heart to see how the city has devolved into the Wild West. The crime is sickening. The lack of accountability is embarrassing. And Jabis 1903 said, oh my, it is spreading to campus even more. Put down your phone, head on a swivel. There are evil people in the world, always has been, always will be. In UGA news, the Student Government Association has revealed the winners of the Senate and Executive Student elections. The Provide ticket emerged victorious, securing a landslide victory with 76% of the total vote. Comprising of President Alva Rock Rogers III, Vice President Stephen Amalegbe Jr., and Treasurer Lauren Baker, the Provide ticket garnered an impressive 4,226 votes. The Provide team, with members involved in various clubs and fields of study, aims to represent the wide spectrum of student interest and aspirations on campus. Their platform includes initiatives such as extending Ad Drop Week to 10 days and providing free parking for all students during finals week. This from the Red and Black. In UGA sports from the Red and Black, the number 5 Georgia equestrian team upsets number 2 Texas A&M for the second straight top 5 win. Georgia women's tennis defeats Georgia Tech 4-1. In baseball, Georgia beat Georgia State 15-0, and the Georgia gymnastics team lost at home against the Missouri Tigers. And finally, the mayor, commissioners, and members of the public gathered to address several crucial issues during a meeting in City Hall last week. Discussions revolved around the oversight of nonprofits, with the Boys and Girls Club of Athens seeking an amendment to their ARPA contract, aiming to extend funding and scope. However, concerns were raised by smaller nonprofits like Destin Inc. regarding fair competition for funding. Other issues included gender-neutral signage and ADA compliance in facilities and emergency medical services. The agenda items will be up for a vote on March 5th during the monthly voting session at City Hall. This from the Red and Black.
Thanks for listening to the Athens News Podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is a production of BG Ad Group. All rights reserved.
This podcast aggregate content from other sources for informational purposes and is in no way trying to infringe on the copyrights or businesses of any other entities. All content posted up on the site is used under the Fair Use Copyright Law 107. All audio, media, and articles are copyrighted to the original owners. All audio on this podcast are embedded from YouTube.com and are owned by their respective copyright owners. No audio information are copyrighted or stored on our servers. The court ruled that linking or embedding copyrighted videos is not copyright infringement, even if the source video was uploaded without permission. However, we will gladly remove any audio clip upon valid request from respective copyright owners. Any owners also have the option to disable embedding his YouTube videos on other websites. News and press articles are owned by the respective copyright owners. Where possible, the appropriate accreditation or source of the article is given on the same page. The audio-video files on the site are for listening purposes only. Downloading of these files to one's computer is strictly prohibited. They are owned by the respective copyright owners. If it is in the organization's belief that the usage or specific content used on our site containing copyrighted knowledge conflicts with authorized use and or does not comply with fair use as described in the context, contact us through our contact page and we will remove the offending content immediately. Thanks for listening to the Athens News Podcast.